Small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, are important drivers of growth in economies across sub-Saharan Africa, accounting for up to 90% of all businesses in these markets. Their share in employment and wealth creation tends to be higher than the large enterprises. Small and medium-sized enterprises have been badly hurt by the coronavirus disease pandemic. Transport and border restrictions, social distancing, and lockdowns have disrupted supply chains, dampened consumer demand, and shrunk cash flow.
I think these have affected everyone. It cuts across. The effect, I look at unemployment, of course, that came in. This is something that no one was prepared. It got everyone unprepared. We can't say that was someone who was aware such a thing will come up, and the pandemic came and it was like, how long will it last? It's unpredictable. Up to now, we are still the company is trying to restructure and see which is the best way to survive. If you look at most of the product that we sell, the package comes from outside. So it cut off the supply. Two, it cut off even within East Africa, because now we can't get product from Uganda, we can't get product from Rwanda. It cut off the shipping, because at the border is a problem. You ship a product from Uganda, it will take 2 weeks at the border. At the same time, the costs have gone high because we used to use buses. That was more easy and fast and convenient, affordable. Now shipping is affected. Two, the sales goes down immediately, automatically, because people are not now keen about the beauty. I'm looking at the basic three. I'm looking at the food, shelter, and clothing. So to think about beauty, people use beauty product when they are moving around and they're doing a lot of stuff. So the consumption also went down. And I think in terms of employment, all that system interfere with the employment opportunity. So that's how it affected us. And one of the suggestions that I look, having been in the market, I have a background of consumer psychology, selling product and all that. Having the little information or the experience that I've gone through, suggestion number one for you to be able to survive is to cut the cost. That's number one. Look at your whole package as a company, as an organization, as an SME. Where can you cut in terms of cost expenditures? Number two, I think one of the strategies that we're putting in place is to focus more on online opportunity. Although online is right now is also cluttered, but you have to be smart. Now we move a lot of interaction online so that we are able again to recover from the shock, which was physical shops and all that, which we closed down. I think another prospective option that we have right now is try to diversify. Right now, Japan Africa, we just no longer only sell beauty products. We sell beauty, health, and we sell made in Africa. If you go to our platform, actually, you will be shocked that we are the first again to sell Juakali made product. For example, even furnitures. You can get furnitures right now that are made locally here in Kenya and in Japan Africa. That is a part of the vision. We brought the vision closer because we say that after 5 years we could include those kind of products. But now we decided, because of the pandemic, how do we expand our portfolio? We introduced fashion. We can get fashion on Japan Africa. We introduced furnitures. It's on Japan Africa. We introduced health and wellness. The portfolio increased. So we increased in terms of our portfolio of the product that we are selling for us to be able to survive in the market. Digital is playing a very key for most corporate, especially those who are in marketing and those who are in distribution. Most of the people are in their safe corners. Stay home. Most of the time they are spending a lot of time on internet browsing. So that gives you advantage. There's a challenge of clutter. Everyone now have gone online, whereby for you to be visible, you also have to be different. What will make people identify you online? You have to be having very, very cutting edge concept of getting the attention online. So we will say this, because there's more traffic on online, we are taking advantage of the traffic. So we are pushing through online. This is social medias, which most people are interacting there, especially the beauty product. Second, also digital platform is giving us an opportunity to network with the new products manufacturers, because they're also doing their marketing. So we are able again to market and come together and see how can we partner, because right now we need more partnership also to come on board. Which kind of partnership? With the potential partnership. At the same time also, it's open up for a challenge, because we see what is new in the market. Who are your competitors and what are they doing? There are some competitors we never knew that they exist, but now they have come, all of them, they're online. We're able to see what are they doing, which direction are they taking. So we learn from what's happening on the digital platform for us to be able to come up with, of course, above the ideas, above their concepts, above the competition and the new ideas of how to be competitive on the platform. We are getting also some partners like online who are willing to be stockists. That's a huge advantage. So what happens is that they come on as virtual stockists. Virtual stockists, whereby you market our product, you create sale, and then we deliver that product for you. And then you make commission from that. So those are new opportunities that we have created. And actually in Kenya, we are the first to introduce virtual stockists. I don't think we have any company that's doing that. It's a very new concept. I think Alibaba, Amazon, they might be having something like that. Most of the time, the virtual stockist, you can compare it to promo coupons where we buy, when you're a customer on specific e-commerce for a while, you have advantage of getting a promo code where you can buy product at a discount. But as what we are doing is more or less like anyone can be our ambassador. You become our ambassador by marketing our product through the virtual, as a virtual stockist, where all the orders you generate, you have a special code. All the orders that you generate, you get commission from those orders. And also having mentioned that we have application, which is working hand in hand. You can download the application from Google Play Store. Download it, it's easier. Work with it from where you are. Purchase your product. We are able to interact with you wherever you are. If you purchase your product, of course, through the digital platform again, our application is able to tell you where your product is, when are you receiving your product, and all that. So we are taking full advantage of the potential of the digital platform. I think that is the second phase that of the customer we are trying to look at. But these are probably also we look at the purchasing power. Our product target is middle and high end. So purchasing power are this middle and high end. Most of them probably they are attached somewhere in a town that they can access the internet. But apart from that, we are also now, after closing down the shop because of the pandemic, now again we are partnering. As I said, we are identifying partners that we are working with. So anyone who is interested to partner with Independent to sell our products, they are coming on board. Right now we're expanding again. We closed, we came up with a strategy, and now we're in the process of expanding. We're opening more shops. Actually, we're in Kisumu right now. We are having a shop negotiation in Nakuru. Right now, we're in Westland, we're in Kampala, we are working on negotiation. So again, we are coming back in boom. We used to have a shop in CBD, in Mombasa. We're opening another shop. So the partnership that we are getting from the digital platform, we are converting it also to take us advantage if we can have physical shops on the ground. So the mashinani people, I know with the time we'll have to reach them, but I don't think it's part of the phase one of our strategy for the moment.
We've been directly affected because people weren't moving with the curfew that had been put in place. You couldn't leave the city. People outside Nairobi couldn't travel to Nairobi. We rely on customers who move on a daily. In terms of goods that we receive from outside the country, those countries were affected by COVID as well. So the production was very low. So we are actually feeling the effect much later. We are having some goods that are out of stock. The ones we are getting, they're in limited quantities. We've been able to reach out to our customers by getting to their homes, to their offices, to replace for them batteries, tires, even repairs, general repairs. We've been able to send our technicians to them. This has helped us to reach out more to them as compared to when we are waiting for the customers to come. I think the skills that we need more right now, like marketing skills, as compared to before when we would receive many customers coming in. Now we have to get more ways of reaching out to them as well. With the digital integration, we are able to reach out to clients who previously have not come to our premises. We are able to get to them by social media, especially Instagram, Facebook, paid adverts on Google. We are able to get many calls. We are able to deliver tires across the country. My general advice to anyone just leaving college is use your early and mid-20s to find really effective mentors that are inspiring and supportive and that you can learn a lot from, and cling to them and learn from them. But that's a more general piece of advice that I would give. Again, I think anyone that is completing university, if they don't know how to use, when we talk about digital skills, it runs the gamut from using a phone all the way to being able to write code. But if there's an individual that can't use productivity tools like Microsoft Office or Google Docs, if they aren't able to understand, use an Excel spreadsheet, if they're not able to understand how to do effective online research, then this is something that they probably need to do immediately and need to ramp up on immediately. I think the good news is that the sheer amount of available courses online for free, whether it's at Coursera or Udemy or I guess Udemy, or LinkedIn Learning are pretty tremendous, right?
Labor demand forecasting is about finding the right number of people with the right skills and at the right time. Businesses don't want a surplus of employees, nor do they want gaps in the employee pool, which results in reduced productivity, performance, and profitability. It is difficult to forecast how the demand for labor is going to evolve beyond a few years into the future. Major influences on the economy include new technology, the macroeconomic state of the domestic economy, and of the economies of trading partners, the amount of capital investment and its distribution between industries, changes in governmental policy, and the interaction of these factors. The changes in demand for skills reflect technological innovation, the strategies that industries adopt to increase productivity, and the tastes of eventual consumers.
Now, research is important in every sector because research will help you get evidence. You need evidence to make any decision. Then research is also important because it will help you plan. The third one is that research is also important for budgeting. And then also research will help you know if you are planning or doing forecasting for how long, how many years, how many months. In the job market, they are looking at skills. The only thing that is static is changed. There are a number of businesses that have closed because they were not prepared for this eventuality. So you must do, when you are doing forecasting in future, you need to ask yourself, if there is a calamity, how do I survive? How do I pay my employees? If I lose my job, what will happen to me? What kind of skills do you have to survive? So it is important that the young people who are leaving school must know that they keep upgrading their skills. Even us who might think we have the required skills, we must keep on learning new ideas, new skills to fit in the dynamic world that we are living in. 5 years from now, will I be using the kind of equipment that I have currently? And if a new equipment comes, am I prepared to handle the new equipment? Teaching online was not there. Now schools are teaching online, even the kindergarten. They're now teaching their learners online. Now if your son or daughter has no idea on how a laptop looks like or a computer, then they have missed out on education. So we must prepare for the future with technology. A number of people have lost employment, for example. It's a very unfortunate thing, but it's because the organizations or institutions they are working for were not prepared to handle the pandemic. They did not have the technology required. Right now we have got e-commerce. I can sit here and order a meal, it will be brought to me. I can sit here and order a book on my phone, it will be brought to me. That's where we are going. We encourage our people to do those programs online and teach their youngsters how to use technology. We need to embrace technology because that's where we are going, and we'll be left behind asking ourselves, where did we go wrong? Why we did not prepare? Globalization, for example. What are you offering to the global world? Africa. Because globalization was a Western concept, but globalization was the West bringing the ideas to us here. Things like hip-hop music. And we have embraced hip-hop music, we forget that we have got our own music here. So globalization is actually one aspect of change, whereby we need to ask ourselves, gone are the days when we will make money through shows. You can sell your music online. You can sell your product online if you have the right technology. So that's why we need to be very, very careful as far as change is concerned, because the change is constant. The world is dynamic. So we need to prepare for anything.
Technical and vocational education and training, TVET, is the most practical avenue for acquiring readily employable skills for the world of work. Africa needs skilled workers. In particular, competent artisans and technicians are needed to fill skill gaps in various sectors of the economy, including the building and construction industry, power and energy plants, water distribution and sanitation systems, and large public works. Adequately trained workers are also in short supply in the hospitality and agro-processing sectors. Furthermore, African countries need highly skilled technical personnel to drive the agenda of transforming their economies through value addition to their primary commodities and natural resources. Well-functioning TVET systems are best placed to train the skilled workforce, which Africa needs to address its socio-economic development challenges.
Training and education in government is largely driven through various ways, which include policy guidelines, which provide planning on how the training and education is executed. One is on infrastructural development. The next is the human resource required. Third aspect is on financing and resource mobilization that will be required. And the final one is the stakeholders engagement, and we are looking at this in terms of consumers of our products, which is basically the industry. The training starts with the industry and ends with the industry. We engage them to be able to know what are their requirements for now and in future through what we call development of occupational standards. Occupational standards are basically performance criteria and expectation in the industry, so that if you take someone to work for you, These are the expectations that you have from that person. It is through those occupational standards that we plan for our training. One of the things that we are looking at is structuring our training into what we call the sector-based training. As we are talking through other government agencies that we are working together, Kenya National Qualification Authority, Curriculum Development, Assessment and Certification Council, who are currently working on competency-based curriculum. We are working together to ensure that we meet the demands of the industry. We've just concluded a consultancy work called Mapping of TVET Standards. Basically, the TVET standards give us the measurements of what really we need to do to satisfy the industry. And in this mapping, we've come up with what we are calling the priority sector. Of course, being an agricultural country, we are looking at that one of our key sectors, contributing to close to 26% of the GDP. However, we want to see how then do we increase productivity by training and producing a highly qualified workforce. And we are going beyond the primary agricultural production into value addition and post-harvest and handling, because this is where we want to minimize losses, and we will be able to sustain the productivity of that sector beyond any harvest cycle by ensuring that we go to value addition. The other key sector that cut across almost the agriculture and natural resources is the blue economy. And this is an area that we have, as a country, not really invested a lot, yet it has a lot of potential in terms of the job production and also the value of the natural resources.
So what we are doing on social media, we call people from outside to come and talk to them. Let's say if you're engineering, what you can do, how can social media help you? Either develop your business, you have started a small business, or develop you as a person, because of lack of jobs. Young people are ganging up, they are getting together, starting their online radios, online TVs, YouTube and all that. And some of you may not make as much money as if you have started your own business, maybe practical, all that. But you can even teach online, even if it's tailoring. You just make some videos and then you make a YouTube, and then be doing that on YouTube. And you can tell them this is how to make madazi, this is how to make that. But when you're doing that, make sure that you have the proper skills. Because if you do that and you don't have the proper skills, or you're not doing it properly, people will get to know. We also train entrepreneurship. So when we are training entrepreneurship, is that each and every department has that course, so that you can also learn how to start your own business.
If you look at what TVETs are doing in this ecosystem, one thing I'll talk about is curriculum development. TVETs are evolving. A lot of them are taking into consideration the changing circumstances of work and upgrading and updating their curriculum so that they are relevant to the employer. And I forgot to talk about the employer in the ecosystem. Employers are looking for a new kind of skill. You have to be agile, you have to be digital. They're looking for people who can have higher productivity, and the young people, the millennials, are also, they don't stay for long in employment anymore. So the kind of training that the TVETs have to give must be in tandem with the millennials' preference, and therefore for that reason, the curriculum must be relevant. If you're talking about the big companies in Kenya, the curriculum must meet the needs of such companies. The second thing that TVETs are doing is that we have an emerging crop of TVETs. TVETs that don't follow the traditional path, where you go to class for 1 year and 2 years before you earn a diploma. These are TVETs that are giving you a 1 month training, 2-3 months training, and when you finish that course, which is intense, you're ready for the market. I don't want to mention any specifics, but these are institutions that teach you specifically. If they're teaching you animation or graphics or some aspects of energy such as solar PV, you go in, learn the specific skill you need, get it loaded with a bit of economic perspective so that you can be your own employer, and you're ready for the market. These new TVETs must consider the economies of the places they are in, and by this I mean the blue economy if you're in Mombasa, the green economy if you're in Eldoret. Match the economy of your area or your county with what the county is reaching. Emerging TVETs need to match the skills that they're driving out with the demand, the employer's demand. What are the employers seeking? What is Safaricom looking for? What is Kengen looking for? What is Kenya Breweries looking for? Try and form a match between what you're providing and what is needed by the industry. Number 3, match what you're offering with the students' interests. Our students have become very dynamic, and I credit this to the fact that they're becoming more and more exposed when they're younger, and therefore your curriculum needs to be relevant to them. If they don't see the value of your curriculum, then they're not going to take up that course. And so as you match the industry demand, you match it with the students' preferences. The other one is exploiting digitization. We are now living in a digital world. We're looking at the industry 4.0. Colleges that then exploit digitization, both in training and in equipping students with the skills they need to be digital, are then going to be more marketable, and they're also adding more value to the country. The last one I want to talk about is you must equip students with entrepreneurial skills, because if you're equipping a student with capacity for automotive engineering or a painter, equip them so that they're ready, that the day they walk out of your college, they can start a tiny little practice. They can start a small garage in a backyard, or the painter can start, or a plumber can start providing services with a simple toolkit. So at the very top, entrepreneurial skills are very key.
So what we are doing on social media, we call people from outside to come and talk to them. Let's say if you're engineering, what you can do, how can social media help you? Either develop your business, you have started a small business, or develop you as a person, because of lack of jobs. Young people are ganging up, they are getting together, starting their online radios, online TVs, YouTube and all that. And some of you may not make as much money as if you have started your own business, maybe practical, all that. But you can even teach online, even if it's tailoring. You just make some videos, and then you make a YouTube, and then be doing that on YouTube. And you can tell them this is how to make madazi, this is how to make that. But when you're doing that, make sure that you have the proper skills. Because if you do that and you don't have the proper skills, or you're not doing it properly, people will get to know. We also train entrepreneurship. So when we are training entrepreneurship, is that each and every department has that course, so that you can also learn how to start your own business.
What we are doing, and we've actually been doing that, but right now, even post-COVID, and what we started doing, first COVID changed how we were doing things, so we started training online, and we didn't know that we can train TVET online, and it worked very well, and that made us realize that training is going to change, new skills are coming up, so we came up with a platform called Tujuze. What we are doing as a school is changing how we train. First, we are aligning our training where we don't have to do everything at the school. We are also doing hybrid training where students can learn from other places. And also we are including other skills, because really skills are really changing. There are many new skills like digital marketing, which we have incorporated in our training. And we train our students how they can also utilize the skills we train them without really looking for a job. We are training them on entrepreneurship skills and telling them nobody owes you a job out there. You have to be ready in case you don't get a job. How can you also create a job? And that's how we are including things like mobile journalism. As we train journalism, we train mobile journalism and even mobile filmmaking. So we are teaching them those new skills, both how they can use mobile phones to make films, how they can use their small rooms as studios to do vlogging. Now we are teaching them how to do their own vlogs, put on YouTube, how to monetize that in a way they can make money from them in future. We're also teaching them how to make short films that they can monetize, short skits that they can also put product placement. They can approach companies to put adverts on those skits and comedy, even short comedy skits. So we are now changing our curriculum, fusing this in our curriculum in a way we don't just train them the traditional way of doing journalism and film. We are teaching them what they can apply now, even when they are still in school. We are encouraging them to do projects. We look at those projects, we look at the films they do and how they can submit them for awards. So we're really immersing them in the market while they are still in school, because we are telling them, nobody owes you a job out there. You have to be ready to be, have entrepreneurial skills, how you can monetize your content, how they can start networking while they are still in schools. So that's one of the ways we are changing this. And we've come up with also an online training platform where even after school, we'll be putting new content on the new skills that are coming up in the industry. If it's something new, we also put it on our platform, that even after they leave school, we can continue upskilling them on any new skills that are coming up. And also involving them in our projects, because as a school also we have a production house, so we involve our students in the projects we are doing, so that they're able to know what is happening in the market. At times we are going to pitch for projects, we go with some of our students, so they can actually learn how it works in the industry.
We live in a time of volatility, complexity, and transition, and it is here to stay. Between technological advancements, demands for redefined careers, and for work-personal life balance, the next decade will see a transformation in the way we work, learn, and explore. Sweeping global forces are already reshaping the workplace, the workforce, and the work itself. The nature of work, even in the traditionally slow-changing government environment, is increasingly dynamic. Projects are multifaceted and interdisciplinary, with requirements rapidly emerging in the midst of team-based collaboration in virtual environments.